Kansas, home of giant bucks, testing ground for our 45 XML. This week we're going to be hunting with my good friend Perry Ross, Ross Trophy Outfitters. You don't want to miss this.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Welcome back, folks. This week I'm making my annual trip to the big buck state of Kansas. My good friend Perry Ross, Ross Trophy Outfitters. He's got some big ones spotted. Taking the 45 XML, those big bucks are in trouble.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Great Horizon Ranch, Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, and Borden Accuracy.
Well, September's here, and it's my first whitetail hunt of the year. And as usual, I'm going with my good friend Perry Ross of Ross Trophy Outfitters. Perry's one of the premier outfitters in Kansas. He's got just probably over 100,000 acres of land to hunt on up and down the Arkansas River and back from there, back towards Dodge City. Just a great trophy area. The whole state of Kansas has got trophy potential, but the area that Perry hunts in out there is very special. I've been hunting Kansas a lot of years, and I've hunted all over the state. Southwest Kansas, where Ross Trophy Outfitters is probably my favorite spot. Muzzleloader season is pretty tough. All the crops are usually in the field, and it just makes pinpointing a big buck a pretty big task that Perry's up to most of the time. The first deer we killed with Perry was a big deer, 181-inch 5x5. And Darren and I had hunted the whole week very hard, and Perry finally got eyes on this one, and we moved to a new location. Weren't any trees, just a couple of swales in the ground. Darren and I actually had to separate so that we wouldn't make a big blob out in this field, and we got tucked in as best we could. And sure enough, the buck that Perry and Bart had seen the day before showed up, came down the fence line, and the rest was history. I'll never forget that first hunt with Perry, and we killed that big 5x5 on just about the last day we could hunt. That was the early days in the development of the 45 XML, and it really played a big part in what the 45 XML is today. Last year with Perry, we had a great hunt. Darren was with me again, and we hunted hard. Like I said, that early season is really tough because all the crops are usually still in the field, and you really have to have your thumb right on top of one to find him. But Perry did, and one of the last days we could hunt, we had a big 10-pointer show up at a feeder that he had gotten on camera the day before, and the 45 XML did its job once again. This year, Perry had been getting me all excited the whole year. We've been talking about guns and deer, and we had seen a pretty good deer the year before that we never got on, and he thinks he's found him. It's a big mainframe deer with some extra points, and Perry thinks the deer is going to be 200. So that's the deer that we started out hunting on this trip. Well, first morning deer hunting this year. Worked hard all year, and this is what you do it for. In Kansas with Perry Ross, good friend Perry Ross, Ross Trophy Outfitting. The season's been open a couple of days, but I just got out here. It's been unseasonably cool. It's September the 15th. The season runs about another 10 days, and they've killed some good deer out here. This morning, me and Robert sitting up here on on a hill out here in these sand hills behind these soybean fields, and we ain't seen much this morning. Weather's been kind of, I think it rained some last night, and they ain't moving a whole lot this morning, but gonna have a wind change, a little bit of a weather change this afternoon, so we'll see what happens this afternoon. We're gonna hunt a Milo field where Perry's got some good ones spotted, so just good to be back out here in the deer field. Kansas is home of the monsters, and I got a feeling we're gonna kill one this year. I was gonna have to hunt solo. My cameraman couldn't get there till 2 or 3 days into the hunt, so I'm trying to self-film. We tried a lot of locations that Perry had seen this buck in the past. He didn't have any current pictures of him. We put the rack 'em up out. We got a whole lot of places primed, and we saw a whole lot of deer, and we saw some great up-and-comers, but no sign of our giant target buck.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
Right, so I finally got a camera guy. Things have changed a little bit. It's a lot warmer. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. They didn't have a lot of movement during that cool, wet weather, which is unusual. But Perry spotted a big buck down here, so we've moved again. And he put physical eyes on this one. And one of our customers, Chad LeBlanc, hunted him for a couple of days and saw him, but he didn't offer a shot. So we're going to try to take up right there. And what we think's happened is he's bedded in this river bottom, Arkansas river bottom. And he's hopefully going to come out and give us a shot going to this Milo field up here, or either going to this alfalfa field that's at the other end. But we feel like this is his preferred bedding area. And he came out on Chad about 300 and instantly turned and was walking away, and he didn't take the shot. So hopefully he'll give us a better opportunity today. But 45 XML in the sights are ready, so here we go. Afternoon 3 of however many it takes. This is a time of the year when a lot of crops are changing, and farmers are finally getting them cut, and we like to see that. So a couple of days while we were sitting, the farmers were doing their job, so we had a couple of days that were kind of wasted afternoons. Right at go time in the afternoons, the farmers are there doing their jobs, and you can't blame them for that. That's all part of the hunting that early season out there in Kansas. My cameraman and I, we tried several other spots that were good morning spots up around the lodge, places that we had seen and good deer had been taken in the past, and we saw a lot of really good deer. About the 4th or 5th day, we saw a really good older 9-point buck. We saw several really good 8 points, just weren't the trophy class deer that we were looking for. We moved down the river to another spot, and Perry put one of our real good customers in this blind where we had been hunting with our 45 XML, and of course the first day he shoots this buck, a giant 200+ inch Kansas buck. Unbelievable. Every day that we sat out here, we saw multiple deer. We were always in a really good spot. We always had the wind. We had the ozonics running, so we never worried about getting our getting scented or getting spooked. We had ways in, we had ways out. Perry pretty much had all that figured out, but it just wasn't happening. And our big target had been killed. We were trying to find another big target. Perry got pictures of a deer that had a bad leg injury that was great, world class on one side, and not so great on the other side, but he was a big mature deer, so that's the deer we decided to go after. So we're coming up on day 8, and I'm supposed to go to Alaska in about 2 or 3 days. I got to get back home and pick Denise up. Our cameraman, he's on his last day, he can be there, so I decided we'd swap ends of this field that we're hunting, slip in there in the morning, park down the road, and try to get eyes on this big deer that had the huge one side, a good other side, and had the leg injury, because we know he's a big, old, mature deer. So my cameraman and I, we slip in there, we get on the edge of the field. I had gone in there the day before and kind of cleared out a little spot. And that morning, we were sitting on a triticale field. Most of it had been cut, and the deer were just wearing it out, eating that freshly cut triticale.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Atlas Development Group, Brooks Barrels, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
So as the sun came up, we're glassing, we see deer at the other end of the field. We see a few deer up on our end of the field, and then out of the triticale that has not been cut yet, out walks this big, we're just gonna call him the one-sided buck, because he really had a world-class one side. About 600. We wanted him to get closer. We don't really advocate longer shots, but I know what the capabilities of our 45 XML are. It was now or never. He was stopped at 602 yards, had him ranged right, had everything dialed in right, had the wind figured out. As I committed to the trigger, the deer decided to walk. Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about the best way that we know to protect your guns when you travel. I mean, I travel all over the country doing different kinds of hunts every year. I drive sometimes I'm forced to fly. But these gun foam inserts and these Boyd cases give me 100% confidence that my guns are still going to be 100% intact, 100% dead on when I get there, so I don't have to shoot them when I get there. Tell me about these cases and these inserts.
We've used, pretty much every case there is, and we've really come to like these Boyd cases. They've got, plenty of configurations from soft to hard cases. Now, and you pair these with Gun Foam, who makes an insert to custom fit, all of our different stocks and configurations. We hit it out of the park with this. So anytime, we travel, we know that our guns are going to arrive safe and sound, and this is the way we do it. It's the way to go. I
mean, we've got 5 or 6 proprietary stock designs, and Gun Foam will make not only a case that will exactly fit those, but if you've got something different, they would make those for you too. So the Gun Foam insert in this Boyd case just pretty much gives you an armored way to carry your gun in your truck or even on the airlines with the worst baggage handlers.
Yeah, same combination.
So these give me the confidence that I need when I go from spot A to spot B and back and forth. I don't usually even shoot my guns when I get to a hunt, because I know I've thoroughly tried and trued them at the shop here. They go in these cases, in these inserts, and when I get to a spot where I'm ready to hunt, I am just that, I'm ready to hunt.
So give us a call. We'll get one custom order for you today.
Preferably for one of our guns.
Of course. And that was our True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
And Allen and Kyle.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Leofoto USA, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
I know what the capabilities of our 45 XML are, and I know what my capabilities are. It was now or never. He was stopped at 602 yards, had him ranged right, had everything dialed in right, had the wind figured out. As I committed to the trigger, the deer decided to walk. And at 602 yards, he had moved approximately 16, 18 inches forward by the time that big 325 grain bullet got there. At the crack of the rifle, the buck jumped. He went towards the wood line. I could tell he was hit, and I felt pretty good about the shot. I did not know at that time that I had hit him back because of his forward motion as I committed to the trigger. So since he ran off like that, we knew he was hit, we knew he was hit hard, and I just wanted to give him some time. Perry's tracked hundreds of deer in his life. We made a quick look for him, and I decided I'd get Perry down there to help us. So Perry and I, we combed the river bottom. The stuff that this deer ran into was ridiculous. It was 10 feet high Johnson grass, big thickets up and down that Arkansas River. When you get in there, you know why the deer hold up in there, because it's a big sanctuary. Perry and I looked for this deer probably for 2 or 3 hours. We decided to back out. We knew a guy that had a little dog, and we called him. He got there by that afternoon. We showed him where the deer went in the woods, and the dog walked right to the deer, probably 70 yards from the wood line. He was dead as a post, and basically we had walked all over him. He was just in such thick stuff that we did not find him. There wasn't any blood. The shot had actually gone back from where I was aiming on the chest with his movement, had moved back about 18 inches and hit him right in the guts, but it did so much tremendous internal damage that the deer was only able to make it 75 yards into the Arkansas River bottom. The little wire-haired dachshund did her job. We had our trophy. Well, we found him. Well, we didn't find him. Jerry Logston and Marley found him. Perry Ross has probably tracked 200 plus whitetails in his life, maybe more than that, and he and I combed this Cambodia-style river swamp off the Arkansas River, and we both walked probably within 10 steps of him, but that stuff's way over your head. So this buck died on a run. He ran out of the field and died 80 yards from where he went into the Arkansas River bottom. And if it wasn't for that dog, I don't know if we'd have found him or not. But I learned a lesson on this one. The 45 XML had a 602 and probably a couple more yard shot, because the deer made a jog and I just didn't have time to range him again. But he stopped, and just as I committed to the trigger, he took a step, and at 602 yards, that step equated to about 18 inches by the time the bullet got there, and it hit him in the guts, and that big 325 grain Pittman bullet still did enough damage to keep him from running more than about 80 yards. We just couldn't find him, but glad we got him. He's got just a world-class side here with long beams and a 10-inch brow tine and 11 or 12-inch twos and a bunch of mass, and got this character point here and a 5 or 6 inch split off his brow tine, and the other side is deformed because he's got an injury on his back right leg, and so he's got, as you often see, a less than stellar antler on his left side, but he's still a trophy. I'm glad to have him. Hunting with Perry Ross is always a pleasure. Perry's a good friend and a rifle customer and a shooter and a hunter, and we just like to get together and share stories and kill one-sided bucks. Now I've killed some real good two-sided bucks with Perry, and I'm gonna kill a big one next year, so won't find a better outfitter. We killed a 200 in camp here about 2 or 3 days ago, and he just got some great whitetails out here. So 45 XML did its job. The deer moved on us, but we got him, and that's the end of our Kansas hunt. I can't wait till next year. I'm proud of the deer, even though he had one side that was malformed. We hunted hard for him. The 45 XML did a great job. We were unfortunate that the deer moved as we committed to the trigger. We learned a lesson from that. But Kansas, once again, did not disappoint. And I can't wait till next year to get back out there with my good friend Perry Ross, Ross Trophy Outfitters.